You're praying for another date to call the investigating officer who is tentatively the remaining witness. You can agree on a date for site visits.
If I may, even as we agree on a tentative date for taking of the IO's testimony, I have a concern on the place, or rather the venue where the IO will be testifying. I humbly request court that we do take the IO's testimony in chief in open court, so that we do not risk a situation whereby he testifies or he gives his examination in chief testimony at the site visit, which may amount to post shifting, rather goal shifting. So in the circumstances, I'll be praying that we take his evidence in open court, then cross-examination, we can do it at the site visit. Then, Your Honor, we will equally require an order of directions as to the parties who will be required to be present during the site visit, and I believe each party will be making their own arrangements for the said site visit. Thirdly, the site visit, Your Honor, should be in relation to all the areas that have been mentioned in this proceeding, so that the court can have a clear picture. That's all from my end, unless any of my colleagues would wish to add something.
Just a clarification that you need from the court. What did the court have in mind saying that the DCI is going to testify at the park? Is it on the management part, or is it on actual site inside the camp park? And I also request that the mother to Brian, the brother to Brian, Alex Maina, who is in prison, and Dennis Omari, who was also in prison, and Michael Kito, together the 5 KWS officers who testified to be available during the site visit.
On behalf of LSK, IMLU, and Boko Africa, as well as Mama Brian Odhiambo and Ivy, the wife, and the other parties that we represent. Your Honor, we want to request that the OCPD Nakuru East region, there is a Nakuru East division, provides sufficient security to the court, the officers of the court, parties involved, and all the witnesses. I say this, Your Honor, because not once, not twice, but 3 times we've had to implore the court to remind KWS to comply with court orders. It is an open secret that Kenya Wildlife Service is a paramilitary service with officers who are trained in paramilitary skills and are armed, so that we can have seamless proceedings while there and clarity of the locus in quo and the seamless operation by the court. There is need for sufficient security, as I have requested, Your Honor, and I do not want to belabor. Mr. Callisto will also benefit from this security, because I know as an officer under Kenya Wildlife Services, his hands are tied. He's an officer of this court for this matter, so he also needs that security, because he works under generals. He works under a Director General, where orders are taken as they are, no questioning of the orders given by the Director General. I finish by saying, Your Honor, from where we sit, we've seen active interference and resistance from Kenya Wildlife Service. This is the host of the locus in quo. This is the biggest suspect from where we sit, and that is why, at the risk of repetition, Your Honor, I implore you to give very clear orders on provision of security by no less than Nakuru East, Sub-County Police Commanding Officer, formerly OCPD. Otherwise, we do not have a problem on the other requests as made by our friends, our colleagues from the defense, Your Honor.
Your Honor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, I met quite a little late. I was before your brother in Naivasha. Glad I've been able to make it a good time. I've listened to the requests by my colleague, Mr. Callisto and Mbara, and perhaps Mr. Kikwet did not have opportunity to respond to some of the questions. I had to say I had no quarrel. My instructions are a little different, though, on behalf of IMLU and Boko Africa. Number one, the directions we took were that the IO alone would testify at the scene. You know, we made attempts to have the witnesses here who've gone before us testify then, and you directed that they testify in open court. We risk having the proceedings never coming to an end if we have to recall all of them again, take them to the scene. Will make the proceedings practically impracticable. Would we have directions that the remaining witness, who is the IO, alone testifies at the scene? I'm sure he's visited the scene, he has reconstructed it as he would, and that his testimony will be sufficient insofar as the prosecution is concerned in pursuing the theory of the prosecution. I do not think it is. It makes more sense to us that we have to call almost all witnesses and take them to the scene, when we could have actually had this hearing at the scene entirely. It would be again a repetition anyway. Number two, Your Honor, I find it a little bit also interesting, without really wanting to impute ill motive, that a witness was transferred to Nyandarua under unknown circumstances. We are still trying to wrap our heads around the issue, and it's that very witness you asked to direct that he will be made available at the scene. I would not want to impute ill motive or then nothing suspicious, but it says much. Alex Maina was transferred from Nakuru. Reasons are unknown. Now we hear that he is required to be made available at the scene to testify. Unless the intention is to cripple the prosecution, we do not understand. Your Honor, the other issue I would wish to also bring to the attention of the court in respect to us having the hearing at the scene. Mr. Kipkoech made a mention of the question of security. I would also need to add something else. Your Honor, I, together with the DCI, while we were handling this matter at the time of the habeas application, we had a challenge accessing the park, owing to the fact that we were told there have to be clearances, and that they have to clear a number of people to get into the park. We had a problem getting the media getting into that place. We had a problem getting the human rights organizations into that place, and even council was limited actually. We had to go with a limited number, noting that it is actually a court trial going on. Could we also have directions, clear ones, as to getting the necessary clearances from KWS, noting that on that particular day, it's a court day, and that we do not have to struggle with the numbers of people accessing the area, so that then it is seamless, and that we save on judicial time and the time of everyone here. I'm saying this, Your Honor, with the advantage of having been there myself and knowing how it is ordinarily difficult, noting that KWS has played a significant role, possibly in wanting to aid in other things that I wouldn't want to impute. And finally, Your Honor, we would also request that, not knowing how the weather would be, instead of us having the hearing at the ordained 11 a.m. as we've always done, that we go there a little early. I would propose 9, so that Your Honor would give us a clear day that is available, so that we can do that hearing at the scene. I propose, whichever the date that is available to the court, we began the session at 9 a.m. at the scene. And we submit.
Just to echo what my colleague has said, that the application by the defense of recalling witnesses, no basis has been provided for that. For an application to recall to be successful, there must be a basis. What aspects are they coming to testify on? So on that basis, we pray that you disregard that application of having other witnesses being present at the scene. Secondly, no basis has been laid on exam-in-chief taking place in court, and then cross-examination taking place at the site. No legal provision has been cited. And Your Honor, if you recall, it is the victim counsel who made the application to have the IO testify at the scene. Therefore, it will be undue advantage to the defense. If the witnesses, if the IO testifies in court, then cross-examination takes place in locus in court. On that basis, I pray that the investigation officer testifies fully at the site. That will be all, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may only have one application to make. Your Honor, since the IO is clearly aware of both scenes and he had not visited this new scene, Your Honor, there's a new scene that has been introduced by our final two witnesses. And Your Honor, it will be fair enough if the two, I know they are serving, we can have orders served to the in-charge Nakuru to have them escorted so that this new scene that has been introduced by the two can be put into picture. You know, also the motor vehicles in question will have to be produced by KWS and handed over to the IO on that day for production as evidence before this court.
Which motor vehicles are those?
You know, let me just check there. That is KCK 869U and KAL 131U. Yeah, that is my application.
At what point do those motor vehicles feature in the proceedings?
You know, the IO indicates me that you'll have photos of the same.
Be clear in your application, Mr. Smith.
You know, my application is that I wanted the two last witnesses to be available for the new scene that has been indicated to be the same.
I want to just a quick rejoinder to what my colleagues have stated. The defense is apprehensive of the objectivity of the testimony the IO is going to give, especially the examination in chief is going to give at the site visit. There are risks of the witness being led in the event he is to testify at the site visit. That is why, in the interest of justice and for his testimony to be objective, the defense requests that the IO to testify in open court. That is our main issue. If the court deems it fit to have him cross-examined equally in open court, we are amenable to the same. But our main concern is that his testimony may not be objective in the event it is to be taken at the site visit. The witness may be led, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'm wondering whether
And,
this issue of objectivity, a point of, it's an objection, Your Honor, on the trajectory taken by Mr. Callisto, you can say, because I am objecting to what you're talking about. Your Honor, the issue of objectivity did not arise in the first instance. We have responded. Now this is a fresh point. Are we going to respond again on this issue of objectivity? I request, Your Honor, that that line of submission by Mr. Callisto be expunged accordingly.
Mr. Mbarak, yes, these are things I can give directions on. You don't really have to argue about it. It's unless you are raising something very different from what you had submitted. If it's the same, I'll give directions on that. And I'll cover everything. And I give the following directions. One is earlier directed, the evidence of the investigating officer shall be taken at the scene. And for clarity, the scene being referred to herein is the scene mentioned by PW1, PW2, and PW3 being the place where the victim is said to have been arrested. 2. The entirety of the investigating officer's evidence, by this I mean examination in chief, cross-examination, and re-examination, shall be taken at the scene. 3. As earlier stated, the persons to attend the scene and purposely for clarification of their testimonies are PW1, PW2, and PW3 for civilian witnesses. 4. The subsequent scene referred to as summit, referred to by PW12, PW13, and PW14 shall not be visited. 5. For good order, the person authorized to visit the scene and for purpose of clearance by KWS shall be PW1, PW2, and PW3. Similarly, and for good order as well, the number of human rights activists permitted to attend the scene visit is capped at 10 persons. 7. The media persons permitted to attend the scene visits. The number of media persons permitted to attend the scene visit is put at 10 persons. 8. All counsels appearing in the matter shall be cleared to visit the scene. All the persons I've mentioned shall be given clearance by KWS. And 9, the county police commander, that's Nakuru, is hereby directed to make the appropriate arrangement for provision of security to all the persons constituting the court on that day, from the court to the scene and back to court. Finally, we proceed with the hearing at the scene on a clear date. November. Get a clear date. Which day of the week is that? Yes?
Which day is that, Chair?
10th November?
10th of November. It's convenient to us, Chair.
10th November 2025
What is that, 9?
at 9 a.m.
So we depart the court presence at 9.
Yes, at exactly 9.
Much obliged. I presume the orders are going to be served by Mr. Smith.
Yes, yes.
Much obliged.
But what is that all?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.